you're standing next to me. Yeah, I know you feel the power. It's a feeling that you get when you face the final hour. Everything you ever had. Yeah, it's tasting kind of sour. It's all about me. It's all about the power. I said it's all about me. It's all about the power.
Hello, YouTubers. It's me once again, the charismatic anime fanatic and AJ Lee fanboy RKO2582, here to give my Raw Super Show review for November the 7th, 2011. Let's not waste any time and get this review underway. Alright, we kicked off Raw tonight with, of course, you love him, you hate him, and a lot of the England fans hated him tonight. Rise above the hate, John Cena. And he was pretty much talking about, the epic of this past weekend's WrestleMania 28 ticket sales. And of course, he was saying later on in the night for the main event he was going to go up against Oscar. But he said his partner he's chosen is a qualified future Hall of Famer. And then he talked about, of course, Raw gets rocked next week. Can't wait. And then here comes Awesome the Truth has set me free. Awesome Truth comes out and pretty much, getting on, John Cena and of course Miz with the really. And then Awesome Truth, like I said, wanted to make a lasting impression on John Cena before the end of the night. And then, of course, R2 got his words and like he says, stop one me! And then it's just hilarious. I love it. R2's hilarious. And then, of course, I'm thinking Awesome Truth had enough playing around, playtime going there. We're about to get the jump on Cena. And then, guess who comes out? Woo, woo, woo. You know it. Long Island Ice-D's Zack Ryder. And I marked out. And Ryder helped John Cena out. So, as you know, Cena made official that Ryder was his tag team partner. And for the main event, it was Cena, Ryder against Awesome Truth. Alright, we kicked off our first match of the night with Dolph Ziggler and John Morrison. This was a pretty good first match opening. You had Morrison do a Pele kick, you had Ziggler do his elbow and then do his neck breaker and stuff. And just after Morrison was doing all his epic moves and stuff, after he did the flying chuck, Vicky got up on the apron with the referee, and I was thinking like, oh damn, Morrison's gonna lose yet again. But a miracle happened tonight, people. After Morrison got the credit 1, 2, 3, oh my God, Morrison, thank God he won tonight. His losing streak is officially over, and I'm hoping this is a good sign that he'll start becoming relevant again, because he's been on losing streak and people have been starting to not care about him anymore because he's pretty much on his way out, but who knows? I could be wrong. Alright, once again, your winner, John Morrison. Alright, you had Mason Ryan go up against JTG, and Batista number 2, as I expected, won this match with a full Nelson slam finisher, I guess. Yeah, so I guess they really are making Mason Ryan become Batista number 2. Yep, and alright, next match, you had the WWE Champion, Alberto Del Rio, against Kofi Kingston, and thank Lord he still has that tag team championship, but for how long, I don't know. And I'll have to say that Evan Bourne getting suspended over that in the words of Randy Orton, stupid. Alright, now we got that out the way. Alright, Kofi did good with that high crossbody, best crossbody in the biz. And Del Rio pretty much just dominated him after that. He rammed him in the to the post, and he did that knee arm breaker, and he hits the cross arm breaker for the win. And Del Rio pretty much proving the sole winner that he is. And then, yes, look at mine. What do you see? CM Punk. The cult of personality comes out. And then after the commercial break, you had those two cutting a good promo. And then Del Rio, of course, was like saying, I do not care about them. He's just like, you're nothing. He's like, you're nothing to Del Rio. And then when Punk got the mic, Punk. Yeah, the crowd was over Punk. Big time. And then, of course, Punk with his sarcasm, like, I think, you were trying to apologize, and then he's like, you cashed in Money in the Bank when I was down and out at SummerSlam, and thanks to Kevin Nash. Yeah, boo this man. And then, of course, this part right here, true mark out more for me. We were all like, they're like, he gonna deliver the pipe bomb. Here comes the pipe bomb. He's just like, in my opinion, Del Rio, you're nothing but a one-dimensional character. I was like, ooh, and then he's like, you're talking about destiny, 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 and he's like, you're so damn one-dimensional. Like by the time like we changed the channel or something, like we pretty much forgot all about you just in that moment. I was marking out big time. And then of course he said, when I win the WWE Championship, I'm gonna make this belt interesting again, and I damn sure believe him, and I hope he does. And then of course Del Rio's like, you may think you're best in the world, but in reality, I'm the best in the world. Ooh, hate you, Del Rio. And then of course Del Rio and Punk brawled, and then that stupid Ricardo Rodriguez got involved. But once again, Ricardo Rodriguez takes the beating for Del Rio after the go to sleep GTS. And once again, Del Rio, in the words of Punk, good luck, amigo, at Survivor Series. Alright, we had Jack Swagger versus Santino rematch from last week, and then Jack Swagger cut a promo. He was like, I got beat by a Muppet. And he was twitching, by the way. And then, of course, as I predicted, Jack Swagger beat Santino with the ankle lock. And then, of course, we get on to King introducing Kelly Kelly, and pretty much she's talking about her cover on the recent Maxim magazine. And then, of course, finally the Divas of Doom saved this, and then they're all like, Kelly, the Divas, I wanted the girl to be just like her. And then, Barbie is good. They were making Barbie jokes. They were funny. Finally, the Divas of Doom actually, I know, getting some mic time, and they look funny. They actually look tough for a man. And then, of course, Eve and Fox come to the rescue for Kelly, and then Divas of Doom retreat. And then, of course, by the end of the promo, we got the cover bill. As much as I'm not a big Kelly fan, I have to say that cover. Hot damn. That's all I gotta say. Hot freaking damn. Hey, I'd be a fool to not like that cover. Alright, we get on with sweet Kevin Nash after being introduced for John Learned Charges. Fuck man! I know, and then he's pretty much talking about, the good old days, back in 1995. That he's like, I should have buried him when I had the chance, but no. Shawn Michaels told me he had some talent there, and that's when I let you in the clique. And then, of course, he talked about recently, earlier this year at the Rumble, saying, I got the biggest pop in the Rumble. Then afterwards, he's like, you turned on me and stuff, and then pretty much saying, they giving me a Legends contract and stuff. He said, I could be world champion if I had the chance. And then at the end of the promo, he's like, saying, I still got it, and that's how you play the game. Wow, Nash. I mean, I know, yeah, Nash cut a good promo. I'm dead serious, he really did. So I'm hoping next week, maybe Triple H will come out, maybe, I'm not sure, but we'll see. Alright, backstage you had John Learned Jordis and David Otunga, his ass, and then I know, saying like Punk saying, you look like you the gas station, and Punk like, ha 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 ha, and then Punk beats up that Punk Otunga, and then here comes Del Rio jumps from behind and stuff, and then John Leonard Knight just trying to stop it and stuff, and then, and before I forget, just announced for Survivor Series, there will be a traditional Survivor Series tag team match with Team Orton against Team Wade Barrett. And I'll get to the competitors after this last match. Alright, you have Awesome Truth going up against John Cena and Zack Ryder. Zack Ryder finally gets his main event shine tonight, and I was very pleased. And Cena pretty much starting the match. He did his Cena splash and then a clothesline onto the Miz, and then pretty much, of course, People were booing Cena, of course, and then he tagged Ryder, and of course Ryder gets a big pop. He got the big pop next to CM Punk tonight, and then Ryder was pretty much doing good. He flapjacked Truth. He threw him outside the ring. Ryder was excellent, excellent. Love this performance. And then Awesome Truth pretty much, once Cena got back in the match, Awesome Truth was pretty much dominating Cena, and then of course Ryder got the hot tag again. I enjoyed this spot. A double broski boots. And then of course, I know after Miz does his clothesline, and then Cena was dominating, and then of course a double five knuckle shuffle. I marked out, and then just when Miz pins Cena, R-Truth comes in and helps him out. 1, 2, 3, your winners. Awesome Truth. Damn it! And then, yeah, like Cena said, you got a freebie tonight. That's all I'm gonna say. Overall, Raw tonight was a awesome show. Even though it was taped, it was still freaking awesome. And I cannot wait for next week's Raw Gets Rocked. I am going to mark out like the renewed Rock fan that I am. And one question, where the hell was Brodus Clay tonight? They were advertising this boy like crazy, and he didn't show up tonight. Maybe SmackDown, I guess, this Friday. Oh, and you guys be on the lookout for my Lookout series, which will be, of course, on the most electrifying man in all of entertainment, The Rock. You know, it'll be a two-parter. You know, me looking back at my favorite personal Rock matches, and of course, my personal favorite Rock promos and segments. And of course, my SmackDown review, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Those videos that you need to look out for. And before I end this review tonight, I want to give a shout out to my good friend of mine, Kid of Wrestling. Go up to the description box and sub to him. And he was at this show tonight, at Raw tonight, and I know he was booing Cena just like everybody else. But over that, he's a good guy. He's a good guy. And he knows his stuff. And he's part of the legendary shooters, too. So, once again, Kid of Wrestling. I thank him so much for helping me out over the summer and all that stuff. So, once again, Kid of Wrestling's description box. Alright, this is your boy once again, RKO2582, signing off. Pipe bomb! Ah!